maternal instinct to protect one's daughter is at the very heart of what it means to be a mother. But what happens when it's not enough to prevent the unthinkable?
I was really afraid she was going to die. I was so afraid that she was going to have a seizure when no one was around to protect her.
Peggy Gottleib wrestles with that question every day of her young daughter's life.
Would it happen when I wasn't directly on top of her to protect her? That's what we lived with every single day.
Suffering from a rare seizure disorder, 17-year-old Morgan faces countless challenges that no teenager should ever have to. But with the love and support of her mother, she doesn't have to face them alone.
You are beautiful. Look. Do you know how much I love you?
Yeah, I know, you love me a lot.
My name is Peggy Gottleib, and I am Morgan's mom. I worked, my husband worked, the kids, they grew up, they went to school. After school, they would partake in different various extracurricular activities, and life was good. Morgan was a very happy child. She loved to play, was very inquisitive, and just a pleasure to be around. I loved dressing her up. She was my little play doll, and I enjoyed truly buying her clothes and dressing her up in different things and doing a lot of things as mother-daughter. We love going on vacation. That's our time that we're all together as a family unit. When we're home, we're each running in so many different directions that we really look forward to our vacations. We walked out of the water and she's like, I'm really thirsty. So I said, let's go back to the chair and we'll get something to drink and you can lay down. And she kept saying to me, my heart is racing. I don't feel good. So we went back to the chairs that we had and she laid down on the chair and she said, I'm really thirsty. So I turned away to get her water, and when I turned back to her, I saw her starting to convulse. And I had no idea what was happening. Her whole body started to convulse, in which she was moving, but she wasn't communicating with me. And I was screaming, Morgan, Morgan, and she wasn't listening to me. She wasn't coming out of it, and I didn't know what to do. So I started to signal to my husband in the water, and he wasn't sure what was going on, if I was waving to him or signaling to him.
I was actually in the water, and from far away I could see Morgan, like, seizing at the time. I saw her, but I was so far away I could kind of tell. And then I don't know, something triggered, and I came running over, and her eyes had rolled back in her head, and I was beside myself. I mean, I thought we were losing her.
I would say 90% of the people there spoke Spanish. And I do know Spanish, but I was scared, I was frightened, I didn't know enough to communicate. And we felt so out of place. So we all thought that everything was great. So we put it aside and said, okay, one fluke thing, and that's it. This time when we left the hospital, they said she has a seizure disorder, we need to put her on medication. And that's when this whole began. So we were living in a state of constant fear, never knowing when it's going to happen. Was Morgan going to be crossing the street when she had a seizure and a car could hit her? Was it going to be when she was going down the stairs in school and she would fall down the stairs, she would hit her head, other kids would walk over her because they didn't realize it? Was it when she was alone here in the house? For the few times that we left her alone, she was a teenager, she wanted to be alone. Would it happen then? Would it happen when I wasn't directly on top of her to protect her? That's what we lived with every single day. I was really afraid she was going to die. I was so afraid that she was going to have a seizure when no one was around to protect her.